All right, so I'm just gonna get right into it. I wanted to talk a little bit about sports and performance and things like that. Sometimes you might not vibe with let's say a team, and let's use soccer as an example. You might not vibe with the team. Maybe they're supposed to be very strong. Maybe they're overrated. Maybe the guys just have too much overconfidence, or maybe their town supports them a lot, and they're not as good as they think they are, maybe, or maybe they just can't perform. And I wanted to talk about performance. I've seen people. You could have a team in any sport, in any type of league, at any age, that's very intimidating, or that appears to be very strong, or whatever. They got a lot of support. And you could just have a team that maybe doesn't have that kind of support, or that kind of bravado, or strength, or apparent strength. And the team can just be just better at performance, and just better caliber and better level, and that team can come out being the winning team and whatnot. I don't know much about sports. If you want to know what sports I would like to play, if I was to play them, it's just soccer, and I find football, American football, to be kind of appealing. You get to run and you get to dodge and all that. I like football a lot, and I like it because of how almost primitive it is. How raw and primitive it is, and you might take that as a bad thing or a negative thing. I think of it as a positive thing. I mean, you got the ball, you got speed, you got strength, and you're turning, and you're stepping and going diagonal, going this way and that way, and trying to score the touchdown. To me, it's a very simple game. But anyways, soccer is really kind of an international world sport. But I mean, to me, at this point and at this maturity that I have, would I ever, do I ever think about pro sports? No, I don't really. I don't really think about that. But I'm not knocking it. I think watching sports is entertaining. Playing sports is good. I think performance is just a big deal overall. I mean, if you just a higher caliber person, a higher level person, and you can perform and you can push, and you have like that raw, desire, and the skill to, and everything you got together to do well, I think it's a very good thing. It's good to do it. It's good to display. It's good to show how good you are. To me, it's not about making any. I mean, getting serious about any sport. I'm 31 years old, anyways. So I'm of no age to ever even think about even any kind. Forget professional sports. Not even like amateur leagues. Like I'm in no position to do any of that at 31 years old. And I have no desire to, regardless. But I mean, to me, it's good to just show. It earns you some kind of accolade, and some kind of understanding. I mean, if you play showing like a really high level, it's very easy to get noticed. You gotta understand, there's anywhere where there's some kind of crazy buzz happening, there's people watching, and people will know. You know what I mean? This world is not that stupid and nonchalant and vague. People will know, they will understand, they can watch you and tell what kind of caliber you are, and whatnot. And to me, I mean, on a good day, why not go watch a baseball game, for example, on a good sunny day? Be in the ballpark, outdoor, have a hot dog. I've never done it. I've never watched any kind of professional sport in my life, live, ever. Yeah, so I've never done that, but if you do it, it's cool. I mean, it's just good to do. I like to, I do enjoy displaying some kind of high level of skill and performance, but that's because I do have a side of me. I mean, I have a side of me that I like to get competitive. I like to get strong. I like to push, and I like to push hard. And you know, I do have some understanding in my mind when I do so. And it's good, and it's good. You know, you can kind of prove something. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, imagine some guys being so good in their high school soccer team, and later on you go play, and later on you go and you show that you're like way better than them, way better than the best players they had on the whole team that have been playing their whole lives, and you're just like way better than them, just on a whole different level. Like you're on the level where if a pro watch, he'd be like, holy shit, this guy's so fucking good. You know what I mean? When you play at that level, that's just crazy. And it's very nice to get accepted because you get seen for somebody. Like, you know, forget about robbing banks or criminal activities and things like that, doing stuff in the night, and you know, you go out and you go to a party, or you guys do some fucked up shit at night. Like that's aside from the situation. You know, and either way, even if you went as a mercenary or you did anything crazy, like, you can't even talk about it. You know what I mean? You can't sit at lunch with a bunch of people and talk to them about the stuff you did. Okay. I've talked about robbing the bank on my channel. I don't even mention it to people when I'm talking to them. There's so many people that I've talked to, and I will never even mention that I ever robbed a bank. I will not even tell them that I robbed a bank. Even though I did rob a bank, I don't tell them that shit. I don't tell people. When I meet people or I'm hanging out with people, I don't tell them, dude, I was robbing a bank and I was doing this and that. I never say that shit. I don't tell them stuff like that. I don't talk about it. But sports is something you can actually talk about. You go to lunch with your business partners or something, you can talk about sports. You know what I mean? I might be 31 years old, but I look like I'm 20, 21, and my body is so fresh, like my, you know what I mean? Like my body is still the same that it was at 2021. You know what I mean? My body is not suffering how most even top athletes suffer when they hit their 30s. My body's actually better than it was at 2021. Like my body is, even though it is in that form of 2021, it is like way friggin' miles better than I was when I was 20 or 21, and I'm 31. And that's one thing, and that's genetics, man. That's just having a good genetic makeup. That just shows a strong genetic makeup, and I'm not joking about that. I mean, shape wise and everything, at 31, I'm like at the level that, you know, a 21-year-old kid in his prime is playing. You know what I mean? Like in 2021, I was pretty weak. Right now, I'm like way stronger, way faster. Mind is working, but everything, and I'm just way on a higher level. At 31 years old. Yeah, but it's cool. You know, how cool would it be to play a little bit of soccer, and who knows who's watching, and somebody watches and they accept, you know, maybe the first time they see it, they don't believe it, or they need more to see, and then they see it over and over and over and over again, and they go, okay, this guy's like almost like pro material, like pro league, like fucking Premier League, fucking La Liga, fucking Bundesliga, fucking whatever it is level. You know what I mean? And that's really easy to see when you can kind of perform and show that. And, you know, I'm not a lazy guy by any means, and it would be nothing to just spend time and, you know, just do drills and just play with that ball till I'm just fucking finessing it like crazy. You know what I mean? And by the way, I'm not the type of guy who wants to make a highlight on another guy or you know, just to make another guy look bad, to make yourself look good. That's not even my thing. It's more just to push myself and see how far I can go when displaying finesse and displaying skill. You know, it's just a quality and a feeling that I really appreciate. But yeah, like, but that's all it is. It's just to feel it and be like, wow, you know, like, you know what I mean? And it's really cool. But really, one of the and I'm glad I got through that. But I wanted to talk about performance, and some of us just perform better than others. Not to knock anybody, but performance in itself is just something to do, and it's good to display that. What else can I talk about really? I mean, that's it, man. There's nothing really else to talk about. That's all I wanted to talk about, just the whole sporting perspective. I already knew, like, that, there was, I got to a point, and I've never ran this fast in my life, but I got to a point where I could run like fast as, like, I wouldn't say like fucking Usain Bolt fast, or track running fast, but really, really goddamn fast, like crazy, goddamn insane, beast fast. You know what I mean? But yeah, but that aside, you display all that and you show that you're at that high level, and I think it's good to show you don't have to dedicate your entire childhood and your entire life to a sport and then be in Premier and get $1 million contract and all. You don't have to do that. You can go through your own devices and do your own business and things you want to do, but to show a level of performance in a sport, like, and the reason I use soccer as an example is that there's a lot of so-called national sports in America that are only played in America. Soccer is played all over the world. It is by far the biggest sport in the world. And you don't have to become a pro. You can just be successful in your life, whatever you're doing, and play on the side, and still play really, really, really good. You know what I mean? And display that. And I mean, I'm sure it has its advantages to be somebody who can do that at a very high level. And it feels good. Just doing a beautiful kick, or me just doing a beautiful kick, or just dribbling beautifully, or just running with it, or just running after it, or just on one side or the other side doing the same thing. It's just an incredible feeling, and it makes me feel bad because I did. I was always a child, genuinely. I've told you, and as an adult at this age, and as an adult at this age now, to be genuinely an adult, which I was never before, I find out who I am. I find out I'm pretty much, like the team that was like champion by far every year. That's how it feels. Like you're like part of that. And it's a real feeling, man. I know it. And that's great. But I do want to say that's not life to me. That's a very, very small part of life. And I'm not trying to be sound like very graceful or whatever. No. I think these things are just, for me, it's just all about fun, and it's all about fun and competition. It's all fun, and as men, we like being competitive when we have fun, and we like being a bit rough, and that's how we are. But and I'm not trying to be humble when I say, but there's to me in my life, there's a lot of other things that I take seriously. But there's nothing wrong with taking something like this seriously, and it's a lot of fun. And it's all has to do with performance. You perform at that level, you become one in, like, if you perform, imagine just performing at a pro soccer level, like you know what I mean? You just earn and become something that 99.999% of people in the world are not. And it's really cool, you just pretty much pass anybody you ever went to school with, being the biggest sport in your school, and passing by far anyone who ever played, and being as good or better than the guys that won that cup. Being on the level of pros would just be amazing. I don't even feel like I would need to prove myself to be seeing it. But anyways, I'm done. I didn't want to talk about that. If I come back with something more, it'll be on this particular idea.